everybody. We're back at the Real Ethereal show, and we're doing another Boonler installment today. I found somebody just hanging around outside in the hallway and didn't know who she was, and just pulled her in here and said, "You want to do a show?" You might recognize her. She's the matriarch of the network, Jamie Butler.
Wow, that is kind of true.
You're the matriarch. Does that sound too old?
That's okay.
Matriarch.
I've got some years behind me.
No, you're not old enough to be a matriarch. I don't know. We got to Mamacita?
Mamacita.
That's better.
I'm the little mama of the network.
That's right. She's the Mamacita of the network. Yay.
Thanks for pulling me in here.
I'm so glad you're here.
I think you have something up your sleeve, and I don't know what it is.
I have a little something up my sleeve.
What are you doing today?
Well, we did this once before.
We did.
Jamie's, I call it like getting on my x-ray table, or, you know, she's, you came on for my Enneagram number 2 show.
That was very see-through.
Remember?
Yeah.
And just so everybody knows, these first 2 seasons on the Real Ethereal show, I have been working really hard to give you guys a library.
I love your library.
Right? And I've been talking about this, I know, on the shows, but really do go to the lightersidenetwork.com and check out my library. Or you can check me out on lauraboone.org. I've got everything organized. So I've got all the signs, the astrological wheel. I've got all the numbers on the Enneagram. And Jamie was so kind as to come on here because she is a number 2 on the Enneagram. That was a really fun show. So today, we're going to let our freak flags fly, and we're going to talk about Aquarius.
Aquarius! That's me. I can do that. I think. I don't know where you're going to go.
You can.
Oh, God.
You don't even have to try.
You know some, don't you?
You don't even have to try.
She's got a whole
to
list
be an
of
Aquarius.
things. Look at her little notes.
I got all my notes.
All right, what you got going on?
It's going to be fun. I have some fun topics we're going to talk about. And the way I like to do this when I have guests on for the signs is I give the same information each time so that people can follow this and understand, you know, what the dates are. And then I talk about the ascendant, the moon, and the sun in that sign. I talk about famous people in that sign. And I talk about some of the qualities of the sign. And what I'd love for you to do is, like, raise your hand to go, me, yep, got an example.
Okay.
And then I've also got a couple of things that I've totally noticed about you that probably you guys follow her, that are so Aquarius, it's just crazy. It's textbook Aquarius, so we're going to bring up some of those things. Okay? I know. That's a little nervous laugh.
Is laughing one of them?
Yes. Okay, just housekeeping with Aquarius. I'm going to give you some of the stats. January 20th to February 18th. Those are the dates. Aquarius is a fixed sign, and those of you who have been watching, or if you study astrology, you know what that means. There are each of the 3 modalities, mutable, cardinal, and fixed, have each of the 4 elements, right? So Aquarius is our fixed air sign. I wrote right next to this, let your freak flag fly. We're going to talk about Aquarians.
I guess.
Aquarius is ruled by the planet Uranus. Aquarius's key phrase is, I know, which I love. You know, Aquarius is the 10th sign of the Zodiac out of 12. And I've talked about this before. What's interesting, you know, the signs go in a circle, which really speaks to reincarnation too. It's not linear.
Oh, that's so
it's
nice.
cyclical, but it does talk about the lessons, benefits, and challenges of each of the stages of development. The signs do. So Aquarius is Aries is first. That's the newborn, the I am. And so as you go through the numbers of the astrological signs, which you're number 11, you get older. So the last 3 are definitely the elders or the wisdom or the old souls. And that's Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. They're the older souls.
Okay.
Okay, and then I don't think it's linear, but you may start again at another sequence because there's, what I love, and I've talked about this before, Pisces is the last one, Aries is the first one, and understand how, the I am of the Buddha, of the baby, like a lot of times people talk about that's one of the highest frequencies of existence is the newborn. Same with the person who's the elder, the wise person who's almost letting go of their body.
Mm-hmm.
So it's right there, they're together, and then it starts over again. Isn't that interesting?
This is very interesting. I never knew any of this.
Yeah, so Aquarians are older souls. They're wise. We're going to talk about a little bit more what that means. They represent the 11th house because they're the 11th sign. So what does that mean in a general sense? Let's talk about the 11th house and how that pertains to Aquarius. Then I'm going to talk about how Uranus pertains to Aquarius. But the 11th house is the house of democracy. It's also the house of friends, but we'll start with democracy. What does that mean? It's the polar opposite of monarchy. And your polar opposite sign is Leo, okay? Which is the 5th house, which interestingly, that's Jamie's sun is in the 5th house. Remember we talked about that?
It
before?
is.
So this is an interesting kind of seesaw that you've got going on. Just really nice. The 11th house, Aquarius, is about, when I say democracy, it's about equality. Very much about equality.
Wow.
And it's also very much about non-judgment, which kind of comes underneath equality. If you really truly believe everyone's equal, you can't judge people. You can't really judge people. So Aquarians rule non-judgment. They live that. Even as children, before they're even verbal or very verbal or have, more advanced concepts in their minds because their brains haven't developed, they don't feel good when there's judgment. They don't feel good when there's racism. They don't feel good when somebody's excluded. Aquarians just innately, and that's where the old soul comes in, right? Because even as babies, their souls are older in that 11th house, and they understand on a very spiritual level that people are connected, that they're people of the world, that there's a whole globe out there of experiences. And Aquarians teach us about freedom. They teach us about freedom. So democracy as opposed to monarchy. Now, is Leo bad? No. We need both, right? We need both in this world, democracy and monarchy. The best parts of both are kind of polar opposite, but they are both really good. And the opposite of democracy, in a good way, monarchy, is someone who feels born to lead, protect, and serve their constituents. Okay? So the energy of a queen or the energy of a king, the positive energy of that is, you are mine, therefore I take care of you. It's more of a family moment, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And I will sacrifice for my country. I am the leader. I will be the one who's the lightning rod for all of you. And then democracy is totally polar opposite. Everybody has an equal vote. There's an equal playing field. So Aquarians do not judge. How do we see that in Aquarians? They're the ones who notice the janitor, notice the homeless person, and make sure that they go say hi to them. They appreciate and they believe that what they do is just as important as what anybody else does. They have an equal ability, even as a young child, to see past the ego trappings. Because again, we're getting into the wise. They're letting go. The older the signs get, the further along, the less attached they are to the physical. And Capricorn, which actually is the last earth sign, right, is somewhat attached to the physical, but they're starting to let go of it. Aquarians, they've let go of it. Does any of this resonate with you?
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking a lot.
That's a little trippy.
Yeah.
Hi, Maria. Hi, Sergio.
Who are they?
The janitors at the complex here. You've seen them.
Yeah, but I didn't see them. Exactly. Exactly. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see this?
Yes,
It's
but
lovely.
I maybe thought that I was taught to approach people who are around working with us, as being respectful. Everybody who is contributing is valuable, period.
You're not taught, I mean, maybe you're taught that. We're all taught things, but what do we grab hold of, and what becomes our theme is truly the energy that you just latched onto. You're like, yep, that's the concept.
Yeah,
That's
that was
me.
it. It fits. It makes
fits you.
sense to me. Like when someone serves me or is checking me out at the grocery store or whatever, I make sure to know their name and to say hi to them and make eye contact with them and give them my utmost respect. Feels good.
Yeah, because, well, it's your truth, right? It's your song. It's your melody that's been playing. It's your truth. Okay, more aspects to that too. Aquarian, the 11th house is about friendships. So I love this about Aquarius. They rule friendship. They rule that level of relationship. So even at their most intimate levels of relationship, what is most valuable to Aquarians is the friendship piece of it. So, every single Aquarius that's married, I married my best friend.
Shut up.
I married my best
Are
friend.
you kidding?
No. You'll never hear, oh my God, I, couldn't live without this person. I would die without this person. I would kill for this person. I felt high the first 2 years I was with this person because I was so drunk with love. Nope. I married my best friend. I found my best friend. We're best friends. How is your marriage? He's my best friend. She's my best friend. That's an Aquarius for you, right? And here's the other trick. Everybody's their best friend. Everybody's their friend. Everybody's their friend. They're the people you talk about. They never met somebody that wasn't their friend, or they never met a person that they didn't know.
Never met a stranger.
Never met a stranger. That's an Aquarius. It's really lovely. I talk about this on my show. So every sign has something to teach all of us at their best. Every sign has something that we all need to look at and go, I could use more of that. I could be more like that. And this is one of the non-judgment and never meeting a stranger are, I think, two of the best things Aquarius has to offer. So rules friendship. The other thing that Uranus rules, not Uranus, let's jump from 11th house to Uranus, which is the ruling planet of Aquarius. Uranus is the planet of freedom. Uranus is the planet of new invention, science, cutting edge, astrology, metaphysical things. All of that is ruled by Uranus.
Guilty of some of those.
Aquarians, in some form or fashion, are swimming, mixing in those things. And if it's not metaphysical stuff, it is science. They are the inventors. Uranus energy is the inventor energy. They come up with new inventions. Isn't that interesting?
That is pretty cool.
Okay, so let's talk about another part of Aquarius that I think is really interesting, that is very confusing about an Aquarius. And my sister actually is a double Aquarius, so I
How do
grew
you
up
land
with
a
one.
double?
Right? Double well, when I say that, that's a good question.
I'm a double Leo.
Jesse's a double Leo.
I'm sorry?
See, he's learned. Jesse's my
I'm
sensei.
Not. I'm a double Leo.
He's my astrology grasshopper. He's learning because he's behind the camera. So I call it the three-legged stool. There are three main parts of a person's chart that form their personality.
Can I guess?
Yes.
Sun.
Yes.
Is that what we're talking
Yep.
about? Moon?
Yes. Rising sign or ascendant.
I don't know what a rising sign is.
A rising sign is, when somebody pulls your chart, they ask you for the exact time you were born and city you were born in. That gives you the exact place on the planet, and it's actually talking about the Earth's rotation. So the rising sign is exactly where the horizon was in the east when you were born, so it gives you the position of the Earth. So up until about 150 years ago, when somebody said, "What's your sign?" they were talking about your ascendant. It wasn't even your sun sign. Your ascendant was more important
Oh.
up until recently. So it's very important what your ascendant is. So it's your ascendant, your moon, and your sun. And when two of those are in a, like
Same.
if all of those were in Aquarius, which would be rare, I would say you're a triple Aquarius. Jesse, what are you, a Leo?
Double Leo Sagittarius.
What Leo and is your sun, and what other Leo?
My
Moon?
sun and moon are Leo.
His sun and his moon are Leo, so he's a double Leo. That's what that means. So my sister is a double Aquarius. So she's ascendant and sun. So anyway, what I was going to get to is that as friendly and as welcoming and as non-judgmental as any Aquarius you always meet, they're the friendliest people. Remember what I said at the beginning? They're air signs. So what does that tell us? So they have this friendliness, and then people go, "Oh my gosh," they run towards them like bugs to a light because they're so friendly, and then people want to go deep with them.
Nope. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
People want to go deep. And air signs are here, and unless you have a lot of water in your chart, you don't want to go. You don't want people. In fact, I want to get feedback from you on this. There's that aspect to it, but I find that some Aquarians, they don't even have all the emotions that other people have, and they almost get embarrassed by it. Like, people are having a conversation and they're crying, or they're having all this, and they don't ever judge. It's not that they're judging the other person, but they sometimes almost even get confused because they're like, I can't meet them there. I don't feel that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know if it's the Aquarius or if it's my abilities of communicating with spirit and learning more about how we don't need to be fearful or reactive to certain things, because I have this just very strong sense that everything is okay. So sometimes when people are sharing with me, I can have compassion and I can listen to them, and maybe I can logically understand where they're coming from, but to meet them emotionally, it's not something that I have.
Well, prime example is my sister, who is a double Aquarius, and then she has a Leo moon, which is really actually a passionate fire interior. But Jenny is so, I don't know how to explain it without it sounding, she's very friendly and present, and I'm so close with her. I'm probably more close to her than anyone else in the world. And I just don't ask her for emotional validation. I don't need to go there with her. I know her so well that I assume. And in other words, I don't have an expectation
That's nice.
that she's going to gush, or I don't need that proof that she emotionally is there for me all the time. I don't need it. I don't ask it of her. I know she's there, and I know she has a lot of feeling, and I know she just doesn't wear it on her sleeve, and she's not going to lavish it on me.
She's not demonstrative.
That's not the way exactly. Jesse just said she's not demonstrative. It's just not the way she operates. I don't doubt her love for me, her commitment to me, her loyalty to me, and it doesn't even faze me. But it could other people.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Have people have put expectations on you in that way and then been disappointed?
Oh, well, think that I don't care about it.
Right.
Yep. And wonder how I could just be so passive. And it's not a passive quality at all. And it's not that I'm not able to feel it. It's just my perception and where I'm from is so far removed. It doesn't make me wrong. It doesn't make you wrong. It's just who I am.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like a prime example is when I was pregnant and everybody kept telling me, "Oh my God, when you see your baby, you're going to love your baby so much. It's this love greater than anything else in the world. Oh, above and beyond, above and beyond." I'm like, what? There's something different when you have a baby? Like, I'll get there. So when I had the baby, I looked at it like a stranger. I looked at it and I was like,
Yeah.
hey, my name's Jamie. I'll be your mom for this journey. See you later. Like there was no like gushing of emotions. There was no nothing.
You
I was
like
just,
them more now that you can talk to them.
yeah, I was just
Don't
this
you?
meeting this person where, and the other mommies would tell me all these feelings they were having and everything. And I was like, okay, oops, not mine. Doesn't mean I don't passionately love my baby,
Yeah.
but it's just not.
It's not the same experience.
It's not what
it
I was
doesn't
going
need to
through.
be. Yeah, so let's talk about the next thing, which you sort of alluded to it, and that is independence. Okay, individuality. Those are two very big key words for Aquariuses. They, since the time they were young, they're like, this is who I am. I don't have to be like you. Don't try to get me to be like you. By the way, I don't tell you how to be. In fact, I don't judge you for how you are, and I accept you for how you are. So do the same for me.
If my parents are watching, did you just hear this? It
That's all you have to
explains
do.
a lot. Okay, so we're good. Thanks.
That's all you have to do. So Aquarians, it's so interesting. As non-judgmental as they are, try to tell them what to do. Try to explain to them what they're doing wrong and see how much of a friend they are to you. It's not.
Can I exit stage right now?
It's not. It's no bueno. So they're friendly and cool and easygoing until you say, you know what? You need to do this a different way, or I love this. You can't. Here, let me show you this. You can't wear that, do that, say that, like that, go there, be that way. No bueno. Advice to folks. Don't go there.
I need a sign that says I'm Aquarius. Don't tell me what I can't do.
It's just don't go there. And here's what shows up, you guys, people that have been watching the show. That's when you see the fixed part. Because we've been we talked about what fixed people are. The fixed signs in all their different ways, because all the different elements are different in how they do this. They are stubborn. You hit a wall with them at different places. The fire fixed is going to be different than the water fixed, is going to be different than the earth fixed. The air fixed sign is Aquarius. It's up here. Don't tell me I'm thinking something wrong, saying something wrong, wearing something wrong, my ideas wrong. Don't mess with my choices about my life, who I am, what I do, how I do it. It will be very unpleasant. They are stubborn. Stubborn. You will not win. You will not win. Don't even go there.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if any of that rings true with me. Jesse, what do you think?
I think we're both thinking about the same thing.
Oh, yes, we are.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Alrighty then. So I
Yeah.
hit a nerve. So you're saying yes.
Oh,
True.
that's a yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't tell me what I can't do.
Yeah.
Don't tell me I can't build that. Don't tell me I can't do that without a certain amount of money. Don't tell me I can't
Do it that way.
do it that way, because I will.
Yeah. But so as stubborn as that is, so that's the thing Aquarians need to watch.
Yeah, so where's my check and balance?
That's right. Aquarians need to
That's all my therapy I've done.
not take so much offense to constructive criticism. I did on my Instagram channel, I just wrote this thing about fixed signs in general. Fixed signs in general need to learn how to be softer around criticism. They
Yes.
need to learn how to listen
That is true.
and just consider criticism more, okay? Or other ideas more. They need to consider, and they need to watch when they start feeling really defensive or angry.
Yes.
When someone is putting their opinion towards them, they need to stop and go, wait a minute, am I overreacting? Because everybody can benefit and grow from more perspectives. Now, on the reverse, the people who are in relation with fixed signs, ask them if they want your opinion before you give it to them. That's just common courtesy. Ask them. Say, you know what, I have a few ideas about how you did that I maybe could help you. Or do you want to hear? Like, can I give those to you?
I would so listen to that.
Right? It's respectful. The first thing you do with a fixed sign is you let them know you respect their choice, and you know it's their choice, and you know that you have no say about their choice. You give them that respect, and then you ask them, and they may say no. You really want to get in relation with them? Go, no problem.
So
Then the next time when you ask them, they will be more amenable to it.
yeah, is that why I think my husband's always telling me what I need to do? Or what I should be doing?
Instead of
Or
what you can't do.
I look at him and I'm like, are you giving me instructions again? Are
No,
you
no,
really
no.
telling me what I need to be doing
of course
again?
I'm not going to tell you what you're doing. It's
because
he's
I'm
going
so
around
fixed.
Yeah.
But if somebody approached me and said, I got an opinion about something, would you like to hear it? Or I got some advice, would you like to hear it? And asked me, I would absolutely say yes. And that was a huge point you made about identifying when you're having a defensive reaction. Because all of the life coaching and all the nonviolent communications that I've gone through, I've gone back to that the most. Like, when am I feeling defensive? When did I choose not to listen, and why? What was happening? And just being considerate about what somebody else is saying to me. Constructive
Constructive criticism.
Constructive criticism, being considerate of it. That's all that's needed. Because by then, when you listen to it, you go, oh, yeah, I can see that now.
Yeah.
We could use that. That would be really good.
Well, when you ask somebody's, and I love this with Aquarians especially, when you ask somebody's permission to give them an opinion, you not only do you show them respect and give them kind of safety in their response, but you also are showing them non-judgment.
Which we love.
You're already saying, I respect your opinion even though it differs than mine, and I don't judge anything that you're about to say.
That's a good friendship thing too.
It's just a good practice in general, but especially with a fixed sign. I ask everybody pretty much if they want my opinion or not. And here's the other thing, people, give it one time. Give it one time to a fixed sign. One time. You heard my opinion. You do it 2 or 3 or 4 times, they start shutting down.
They're not in your life anymore.
No, she's like, I'm out of here.
We're gone. That's it. That's all it takes.
Yeah. You're welcome, people. Now all your relationships with Aquarians are good.
Oh my God, this is crazy,
isn't
Laura
it?
Boone.
So here's the other big thing about an Aquarian.
There's more? Okay.
Oh my gosh, there's so much. I could go on and on, but another big factor with Aquarians that Jamie absolutely has is I call it the freak flag, which, please, there's no judgment in that. I actually think it's awesome. But Aquarians march to a different drummer, okay, in some place in their life. They could literally be the most conservative person. They could be, like let's take it in the extreme opposite. I promise you, if you're watching and you're like, oh no, my husband's an Aquarius and he's the most conservative person, he just steps right in line with everybody else. Well, guess what? I promise you there is something that he does that is weird. There's something that he wears that is different. There's something that he says or does, a habit. There's something that is just like literally from Mars. You don't even know where it came from. Okay? Now, normal, medium to extreme Aquarians, they're the people who, the outfits that an Aquarian child will put on, I don't even know, at times, that they'll just come out of their room with, I don't even know what they have on. Jamie, we showed up to a photo shoot for season 2 and she's dressed like Marie Antoinette walking down Memorial Drive in Atlanta. And I just sat, like, it's normal. She's not even laughing about, I mean, it's not even like, it's like, yeah, whatever. Aquarius. That's Aquarius. I came to one of your channelings one time. Let me give you another Aquarius. I sat there and went, oh my gosh, she's such an Aquarius. I came to one of your channelings. I walk in. It's all these gray chairs. They're set up. You know, it's just this nice, clean, normal space. And I walk over and I look in the audience and I'm like, what? There is a chicken sitting in one of the chairs.
That's a true story. You were there that night?
Well, yeah, and it's not, and this is what I'm talking about with an Aquarius. If a Sagittarius did that, it would be for show. Okay, it would be like, ha ha, look at me. She just did it because that's what she felt compelled to do. She wasn't laughing about it. She wasn't saying, oh, look at that chicken. She was just put a chicken there for no other reason than to put a chicken there.
I can't believe that memory has sat so long with you. That was a while ago.
But it's,
Yeah, it had to be there.
I mean, you know, you're so normal, but then they'll just,
Like I had to dress up as a fairy for your 50th birthday party and show up with wings, and I had
so
to.
I had this very nice, catered, you know, grown up party, kind of subdued, and Jamie was invited, and she literally showed up dressed like a fairy and sprayed glitter on everyone, and it was the best thing of the night, I'll tell you that. But that is such an Aquarian. No, but this is a great teaching moment too. So that was you being an Aquarius in the 5th house, because her sun is in the 5th house. So that's
Play.
also about play, right? So here this person, Aquarian, you know, so she's an Aquarius in the 5th house, which is going to be somebody who likes to play practical jokes that make no sense to anyone else. And that's what you love about it?
Yes.
It doesn't even make sense, right?
Yeah.
It's somebody who, just the weird is fun for them. Weirdness is fun, right? That's an Aquarius in the 5th house. I love it. So Aquarians always have that little twist to their appearance that is a little bit off. And I have to tell you something. I thought about this before we did the show today. So I'm a Capricorn, as everybody knows, but I'm literally like 15 minutes from Aquarius. So I'm actually on the cusp of Aquarius. So throughout my life, I'm the buttoned up Capricorn, and everybody goes, oh, she's like this. She's, and then all of a sudden, bam.
You pull it out of your pocket.
I do. I'm like, wow. And they're like, who is that?
Oh my God, call me when you land there. We'll go play.
Right? It's why we have a lot in common.
Yes, we do.
Aquarian,
above and beyond.
Aquarians too. Also, this is really interesting too, just in terms of compatibility. Aquarians are air signs, so that means they would get along with fire signs, and they would get along with other air signs. But the one weird anomaly in all of the zodiac, where two signs are extremely compatible and their elements don't match, is Capricorn and Aquarius.
Really?
They're like an odd couple. They are perfect together.
The Boonler.
The Boonler. Well, so, okay, we got to wrap it up. I wanted to give you guys, I want to talk about a few famous Aquarians real quick. And it's going to reinforce what we've been saying. You're going to love this.
Okay.
Abraham Lincoln. Equality. Dreamer. Right? Non-judgment. He's the one who didn't judge the South. Remember that? That's an Aquarius, that's an old soul who says not only is racism wrong, but the people who fought for racism are a part of our family and we need not judge them. So he is the ultimate pinnacle of what Aquarius teaches us. Mozart, that's that flash of brilliance.
He's born on my birthday.
He's born on your birthday. Mm-hmm. And he was weird. I mean, he just was out there, right?
Yes, he was.
Flashes of brilliance. Jules Verne. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. He wrote fantasy, futuristic stories, cutting edge, future, crazy, or was he? A lot of the things he wrote about 100 years ago have actually come true. It's so interesting. Jules Verne, Jackson Pollock, Art World. He just was letting his freak, he was just throwing paint everywhere. Smart, flashes of brilliance, changed what art was. He was on the cutting edge. Lewis Carroll wrote Alice in Wonderland.
My favorite story.
Aquarius. So, it's very just imagination, freedom to imagine, all of that. Aquarius. Paul Newman. I love Paul Newman as an Aquarius because, he was very, again, looked conservative, fit right in, had all these conservative roles. He was a man of the world. He was a man of helping everyone.
Yes.
The legacy he left is amazing with his Newman's Own, especially. Millions of people have been helped or affected by his legacy. Aquarius. Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Enough said, right? The last one I don't know how many of you are old enough to know who Zsa Zsa Gabor is. But I just love her as an Aquarius. Most Aquarians, literally, there's only one. That they're born and their personality, that's it. They broke the mold. There's nobody else before them and there's nobody else after them that is just like them, most Aquarians. So let's talk about what an Aquarius moon is. So as we've talked about before, an Aquarius moon is, your moon is your emotional life. It's how you get your needs met. It's how you feel secure. It's also how you love. So we talked about earlier, Aquarians are about freedom. What does an Aquarius moon person need the most, or an Aquarius need the most in terms of love? Freedom, space. They need freedom, they need space, they need respect, they need the space to be themselves. They also need somebody who is their best friend. They need somebody who can talk to them and respect them as the individual that they are. That's their love language. Freedom, space, respect, friendship.
When can you talk to my husband? I'm just kidding. That makes great sense. He's already had that figured out, but to hear it from somebody who's
So
not
true.
observing our relationship would just be mind-blowing.
Isn't that true? And it's friendship too. Friends, Aquarians you can't have clingy friends. I can't have clingy friends. So we're good friends in that way. We don't cling.
Mm-mm.
It just doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
No.
It's not fun.
We've been talking, right. No, right. It's the sun in Aquarius, that's pretty much, that's your mode of living. So you're going to live in a very Aquarian way. Let's talk about the Ascendant. So the Ascendant is your first impression. It's the way when you're threatened the most, how would you respond? So what's an Aquarius Ascendant's first impression? Again, something's going to be unusual, especially about an Aquarius Ascendant. They're going to have an unusual appearance. They're going to wear unusual clothes. They're going to have unusual characteristics, and they're going to be like, hey, here it is. They're going to want to look different, okay? They're going to seem very out there to people, even if they're not. Again, that's your Ascendant. You might be real buttoned up and methodical in your daily life, but if you have an Aquarius Ascendant, people might not see that about you. They'll see something totally different. How does an Aquarius deal with extreme danger or threat? They go away. They get space from it. They will fight back too if their fixed part kicks in. Like if they get pushed, if they can't just get away from it and get space from it, they'll dig in and fight. That's how an Aquarius is. And they go here. Most air signs, when they get put into a threatening situation, they go to their heads. They start planning, strategizing. They get experts. They go to knowledge to protect themselves. Would you say that's?
I would.
Yeah.
Space is the first thing that I look for.
That's
And
the
then
easiest thing for you.
If I can't do that, then I have to break it down.
Yes.
Like,
Mentally.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
word-wise, organize it, label it, see where it came from, know more and everything about it. Like, just, it's all very heady. So a lot of my work has been training myself to go here instead of here. So I feel more accurately than how I think,
Right.
for me.
See, that's such, any air sign or people that have a lot of air signs, and especially Aquarians, they need to learn how to get into their emotions. At the same time, they also need to just love themselves for who they are, and that they're not, that's not where they swim every day in the emotional world. And that's okay. They swim in the world of ideals. They swim in the world of creative inventions. They swim in the world of what's next, right? That's okay too. So just because you're not emotional all the time doesn't mean you need to try to be emotional all the time and you're broken. It just means you need to find some balance. That's all.
I agree. I agree. That's exactly what it is. Oh, boom.
I know.
It's like you tickle my soul every time I sit in this seat next to you. What's going to happen next?
Thank you for being so willing to go under the microscope. Did you think it was pretty accurate?
Yes.
Aquarians?
Yeah.
Yeah. We love Aquarians. You know, I say this at the end of every sign show. Thank you. I'll say it to you, but I'm saying it also to all Aquarians. So thank you, Aquarius, for teaching us non-judgment, for helping us to open our minds to things that are new or that we don't understand or that are the things that are coming. Thank you for helping make space in the world for all the new things that are coming. It's the dawning of the age of Aquarius. That's what that means, by the way. See the similarity there?
Yes.
So, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.